RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. How's it sounding? How's it looking? Hi, guys. Hi, guys. I should have done that before. Yeah, it's been a while. Holy moly. Sorry about that. I had a lot of bullshit. I had to deal with some bullshit and, work. But I got the bullshit settled and cleared up, and I'm happy about that. So onwards and upwards. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you for hanging out. We meet here every Friday evening from 8:30-ish p.m. I'm a little late, Eastern Standard Time at the Tarabuster YouTube channel, Facebook, YouTube, all the other places that you would imagine it being. Let me just check in with you guys. Hi, guys. Back to 1864. Yes. That's the truth. How's it sounding? It sounding okay? Good sound, good vid. Thank you, Jim. Jim on the chat. Thank you for being a moderator as well on the chat. And thank you for your super chat, too. Jesus. You pay me. You do all the work on there. I feel bad. You don't even get, you're not even getting a salary. But we will have reviews. I'll call you in for the review next month. We'll write down your goals, where you want to be in 5 years. Okay. And Ed, thank you for your super chat. Back to 1864. That is the truth. And before we get going, I want to thank Charlie from APS Radio News for supporting the show and supporting the community cats. I apologize for being late. Hopefully it doesn't mess up your schedule. But I do appreciate your flexibility. Thank you, Charlie, for making this show part of your APS Radio News roster and for everything else you do for me and for the show. It means everything. I cannot do it without you. Who's bothering me? Okay, let me see. What else do we... Oh, yeah, if you can become a patron, please do at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. Okay, tonight we're going to have Poppy. Poppy's going to call in. It's been, way too long. It's been a very long time. Well, that's only because Poppy's been touring with the queer queens of comedy. And so we got a lot to discuss, of course. And I'm looking forward to it. So she'll be calling in at around, I guess, in maybe 40 minutes or so. But in the meantime, there's so much to talk about. That's why I'm very sorry that I wasn't able to do the show during the week. We need to do a weekday show for sure, because things are really moving at breakneck speed at this time. And, you can't fight fascism part-time. But this week couldn't be avoided. So hopefully, I'm hoping to have Steve Silverman back on the show on Wednesday. Hopefully, I got some comments from everybody that they really enjoyed having Steve Silverman on the show, and he's on that from the podcast World Gone Good. But we'll talk about maybe World Gone. Trying to be good in the world gone crazy. Okay, yeah. So this is what I was thinking today. Republicans suck. Okay, I was thinking that. I don't know if I've ever expressed that to you guys before, but they really are useless. And if your mom's a let's get to the bottom of it. Yeah, I don't mean to say such a blanket. I don't know. Do I mean to it? Whatever. It is what it is. They are there's something wrong with them, and I say it all the time, but they continue to prove me right. That not only in every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism, but that there's something fundamentally not right with them. To be a Republican, if you're attracted to this, especially, I'm not talking about Eisenhower's Republican Party. I'm talking about this iteration of whatever this is, this cult, this greed-centered death cult masquerading as some kind of Christian revival. And they lack any kind of self-reflection. And really, they are unfit to hold leadership positions in this modern society. So if you want a demon-haunted world, if you want to go to Afghanistan, live there. Go to Pakistan. That is the kind of society they want to create. And you're just being whatever, hyperbolic. It's not. That's not the case. I wish we were dealing with a fundamentally decent lot. No, they're not. If you're attracted to a cult that is actively attacking the minority group du jour, of course. We're talking about trans people, gay people, trans people, attacking women, dragging us back literally to the times we left in history's trash pile. I've said this forever, that they're not just rolling back the Johnson's Great Society, the New Deal, the Progressive Era. They're rolling back the American Revolution. Now they've stopped. They're making a pit stop in the Civil War, right? The 1864, some abortion law. But the fact is, and we have them on tape too. So they're trying to play both sides, and of course they lie as easily as breathing. And I wonder, especially for Mike Johnson, people like Mike Johnson, who pretends to be a Christian, right? As they all do. I'm just so sick of it. I actually saw this tweet right before I went on air of Perjury Trader Green sitting in her, in a chair somewhere, reading the Bible. And the caption was, "Won't you join me? Make America pray again. Won't you all join me?" What? Wait, whoa. I had a little bit of religious instruction. My mother was a nun, after all. But I thought that Jesus explicitly expressed that you go pray in your closet. That you don't look to get a pat on the back for being so pious. That you do good works in secret because your Father sees you. Your Father in heaven sees you. And those who do it on display are doing it not for spiritual reasons. They're doing it to, assume or be perceived as pious when they're certainly not. And if anything, Perjury Trader Green, Trump, the rest of Mike Johnson, what is this? He's supposed to be a big holy roller, but every time I was going to say talk to him, every time I see him, when he opens his mouth, it's a lie hole where nothing but deflection, disinformation, malinformation, filthy fascist lies come pouring out. And where do we even begin? He went down to Maramoron to meet with the con man who received fewer votes both times but isn't man enough to respect the peaceful transfer of power. Really think about this. We're in this boat because a con man can't. Not only he wants to escape his life of crime and the consequences for his life of crime. Not that he wants to escape his life of crime. That wasn't a good way of putting it, because he is a criminal. He is a lifelong tax cheating, draft dodging, crook who cares only about money. Of course, everything is you got $1, you got $20. What tiny, small people they are. And I have to tell you, some of the shit I was dealing with this week, and that's why I couldn't do the show, had to deal with some of these right-wingers Okay, and they prove me correct all the time because they're bullshit. They have nothing. They bring nothing to the table. We're out there making the world safe for democracy, actually, trying to make a country that works for all, promoting the general welfare, knocking on doors, trying to ensure that no one has to needlessly die without health care, that every American can have a decent middle-class life, that we don't leave anybody behind. And what are they doing? Nothing but tedious trolling, lying, being absolutely, utterly useless. And I bet they're all Christians, too. Spilling my coffee on myself, and that's what I can't take anymore. The Christian, they're so Christian. I wish they were Christian, because we wouldn't have to argue. We wouldn't have to fight with them all the time about health care. We wouldn't have to fight with them about living wages and being decent. They continue to lie. I saw this video, actually, another video. As I was preparing for the show, I should have grabbed it, but it was these, but we talked about it on the show, how Staten Island, when some of the migrants that all the assholes are, putting on buses and tricking them to go into states that don't have a budget for border control because they're not border states. So, but that's how Republicans roll. It's us against them. We're real America, right? We're not like those Massachusetts liberals and New York liberals and California liberals, Hollywood liberals. All my life, all my adult life, thinking about these Republicans and what all they've done is divide this country. But you never hear Democrats talking like that. Oh, we don't want to be like those Tennessee rednecks, those so-called conservatives. Nobody wants to be like, but that's what they want to do. They want to make us like them, small, tiny, angry. That's the other thing. They're always so angry. They're always so put upon. Right? Just so put upon having to live in a diverse country with other people who might be a little different. It's just so taxing on them. They might have to call somebody by a gender. They might have to call somebody she instead of he. Ugh. Have a fucking meltdown. Go away. God damn it. But I saw this video of these maggots, which I hadn't seen before, and it's even more offensive, where and it was the Staten Island, because that's what they did. On Staten Island, they welcomed, quote unquote, migrants by having a big gathering outside the former school that they had. It was a vacant, empty school that they transformed into a center where people could get some sleep. They could sleep on a cot or something, and instead of the streets. And they were greeted by the Staten Island maggots screaming at them, shining those big spotlights into their windows, strobing them, chanting, "You're not welcome. You're not welcome," because that's what you do to scared and vulnerable people, right? Scared, vulnerable, politically unconnected, who traversed a desert to get here. Because at home, you have to imagine, it's sort of like I heard AOC say one time, how she compared it. Why would anybody come here to put up with this abuse? It's like, well, why would anybody jump out of a burning building? When you have little choice. Am I going to die by fire, or am I going to just die by jumping out the window? right? Am I going to be burned up? Or sometimes you have to make these catastrophic choices, and none of them are good. And to have these vulnerable people met by such horrible maggots who, I bet to a person declare themselves Christian, who go bend their knee at their local church every Sunday, or maybe on Christmas and Easter. You don't like migrants staying in a vacant school? Go to your congressman. Go to your local government. Take it up with the asylum laws. Change the laws. You don't like it. But that's not what they do. What does it benefit? Who does it benefit? To meet vulnerable, scared people that are politically unconnected, that are on the balls of their ass, who left their homelands in the disaster that we helped create because they wanted a shot to live. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody who wants to pick up your child and your whatever meager possessions you might have and walk across a desert to be greeted by a bunch of maggots, horrible maggots who don't know America. They hate America. Not only do they hate America, they're confused by her. I mean, and to abuse these people, shining lights in their windows, you're not welcome. This is what they're chanting. Because that's what you do to vulnerable, scared, politically unconnected, poor people. You scream in their faces. You say you're not welcome. Like Jesus. Like Jesus told them to do. And please join me in a moment of prayer on my couch, Perjury Trader Green, or in the halls of the Senate. Or how about the well of the Arizona Senate, where they're speaking in tongues, these idiots, while they sentence women to death in back alleys. Because, like I say all the time, the truth is, criminalizing abortion does not reduce the abortion rate. And if they really were pro-life, they would support every policy that actually reduces the abortion rate. All they are doing is sending women to death in unsafe abortions who are desperate. And also, they don't give a shit what they do to women, what they do to people and families. I simply cannot fathom how any moron can believe the words coming out of the Traitor Trump's mouths. Well, he talks out of both sides of his face, so he's got a couple of mouths. And one of his mouths is his ass, I guess. But for him to have the balls, no offense to balls, to have the lack of decency to stand there and say that Democrats want abortion after the 9th month. They take the baby. They want to kill the baby. In no world does this happen. But this is how much Republicans hate this country, and they hate women. The whole thing. This is another thing about their attack on abortion, saying that women, 15 weeks. It's such a everybody wants 15 weeks. It's such a reasonable compromise. How about you get your filthy Republican nose out of a family's business? How about you get your filthy Republican nose out of a doctor's office? 15 weeks? It's such a compromise. No, you don't have any business there. Hold on. They have no business being in anyone's doctor's office. I know that they love freedom and all, right? They love freedom. But for the con man to say, now this is why I'm bringing it up, because I was watching that press conference, and I guess we'll talk about it. Let me get the video of it. I was watching the press conference of the con man and his collaborator, the Traitor Trump, the con man, Traitor Trump, and collaborator Mike Johnson. And they were talking about how everyone is, everyone, all the legal scholars agree that it should have gone back to the states. Overturning Roe v. Wade was the greatest thing. It should have gone back to the states. And that's their convenient excuse, of course. The Republicans, it's always been that way. Whenever they want to do something to hurt people, and actually, as I'm even saying this, it's what do they ever do to not hurt people? We've discussed it before. Everything they touch, they turn to chaos. They never bring light to a situation. They never bring understanding, humanity, compassion. They never clear anything up. All I remember out of my adult life, since I've been politically aware, is Democrats, coming in to clean up the mess that Republicans leave behind. And while Democrats are cleaning up the mess, and while they're, working on policy, helping people, trying to throw people lifelines, trying to make this country work for more than just the 1%. The Republicans have ushered us from fake crisis to fake crisis to fake crisis. One thing after or crisis. And I'm talking about like every crisis, everything that they discuss is this manufactured crisis. They're really good at addressing made up crises, like the two of the things that Traitor Trump and his collaborator Mike Johnson talked about in their press conference at Marimoron one was abortion, how everybody loves it, the 15 weeks ban after 15 weeks, because they've taken into consideration every contingency, and if women go pound sand, F you. If you can't have an abortion, the thing is, it is a reflection on how much they hate women to say that, they're having abortion after the 9th month and in the 9th month. Now, if you need an abortion later in pregnancy and later in the term, that's because there's something wrong with the pregnancy. There's no woman that goes into a doctor's office and says at 9 months, get this fucking thing out of me already. I don't care. Kill it. But that's what Republicans want you to think, because they hate women. That's what it is. It is a reflection of their misogyny. How much they hate women. I mean, and that's why it's no coincidence that they have to go and rely on laws that drag us back to times that women weren't even considered people. When you go to 1864, go back to 1864, women had no autonomy. They were nothing but property to be controlled, not only and itemized, along with the pigs and the cows and the couch you might have, and that's what the husband had to do. Your wife was just part of your property. You could rape your wife. You could do whatever you wanted to your wife. You could beat her. You could rape her, because she was your charge, your property. Legally, not just, in the minds of these people. So, to say that women are just, we just don't have the right to control our own bodies because we're so evil, you see. We might go in there and be like, kill it. Right? And that to me is so offensive. And I don't know why anybody else isn't discussing it like that, to bring that out, that it's simply a sign of how disgustingly misogynist they are, how much they hate women. Because that doesn't happen. That's why that Democrats say, no, this bullshit 15 weeks line that these assholes cross is, it's false. It's a delusion. You can't, what do you call it? Plan for every contingency. And the fact is, late terms, or whatever it's called, late-term abortion, how many late-term abortions are performed in the United States each year? According to the CDC and the Guttmeyer Institute, oh yeah, fake news, liberals, us against them. The only thing that they believe are the lies, right? These are the idiots that are waiting for the rapture. I wish they would have raptured on out of here, with the day of the eclipse. Why didn't they rapture the hell out of here? So we can finally have a society that works without these albatrosses around our national necks. So, yeah, according to the CDC and the Guttmacher, is that how you pronounce it? Institute on Abortions and late-term abortions. Why can't I talk? Abortion. The stat is 1.1 to 1.3% of all abortions are carried out after 21 weeks of gestation. And that's because, it's rare. And no one wants an abortion when you're carrying, you're carrying a child. I mean, how much do you hate women to think that there's no bonding going on? And if that happens, if a woman goes into a doctor's office at 9 months and says, "Get this thing out of me," kill it. That's when you call the psychiatrist, because there's something going on. This is a mental crisis. Doctors, no one would just say, "Okay, great, let's do it. Fuck it. Kill it. Fuck it." But this is who Republicans are. And the fact that effing tax cheating, draft dodging, wannabe dictator con man stands up there and says that Democrats want a post 9-month abortions to be done. And but you see how it goes, guys. And as I was watching this, it's because whenever the line gets drawn and he sinks to the bottom, that's not low enough. He needs to up the ante every single time. So he has to go to, well, Democrats want to kill babies after 9 months. No, you know what? That's not Democrats killing babies after 9 months. That's Republicans in a country where we don't have universal health care, where kids go hungry. These are, conservatives stopped the child tax credit. Conservatives are always coming for babies. They always want to cut the lifelines of these babies, right? I mean, I wish they were Christian. With your stupid Bible in your lap for the photo op, but you certainly would, you're not reading it, I guess. You only read the part that says, a man should not lie with another man. Is that it? That's how they justify their hatred against gay people. Though it says, of course, everything else they put by the wayside. How women are unclean when they're menstruating. They need to be locked away. I don't see Perjury Trader Green getting locked away during her menstruation. Or Lauren banned from the bowling alley. Bobert, right? You know what I'm saying? Because do as I say, not as I do. And they're not Christian. They're not. I'm more Christian than they are. Truly. These people do nothing for society. They're so easily triggered, and they're such children. They lack the fundamental maturity to function in a free, democratic society. They're not mature. They're not normal. It takes a level of maturity to function. You don't have to, like gay people. Maybe look at yourself. Maybe you're probably a closet case if it's really obsession to you, but you don't even have to understand it. You don't have to understand trans people. If you're not trans, shut your filthy mouth. Move on. But they can't do that. Their God, the only holy obligation for their God, I guess, is women bashing, gay bashing, and trans bashing. Everything else. Oh, and immigrant bashing. Where is this video? Oh, and thank you, Kathy, for your super chat for truth, justice, and all Americans and the kiddies, too. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you, Ed, for your 20th super chat. That's very nice. I can't do it without you, that's for sure. That's why I was looking at these. Look at this. Look at these idiots. Look at these two. What's with this stupid thumbs up shit? Thumbs up if you're a traitor. Thumbs up if you're a collaborator. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you can't stand America. If you lack the fundamental requirements to function in a kind of country that you can only pretend to love. Thumbs up. Thumbs up your ass. What's with the thumbs up? We're doing great. Thumbs up. I mean, really, while there's no, I mean, I can't talk. The Republicans sure do have all these fake crises under control, right? Hold on a second. Because one of the things in the Maramoron press conference, they were discussing how, he went down there to discuss election integrity. All right? Without a hint of irony, Traitor Trump and MAGA and Moscow Mike Johnson, the collaborator, got together and they were going to announce some real policies on election integrity. Exactly. And funny enough, this is what they do, though. The policies that they were discussing are things that are already happening. Like, he says that we don't want to have illegals voting. Well, guess what, MAGA Mike or Moscow Mike? Illegals don't vote. They can't vote. That's already a thing. See, we already took care of that. But Republicans are just stirring up this bullshit, talking about how our elections are not secure, because they want, it's all part of how they're going to ultimately destroy the grand experiment in liberal democracy, unless we smash them legally and peacefully into history's trash bin where they're comfortable. Clearly, they're comfortable there. They want to live in 1864. That's their time. They missed it. They're born later than their time. They would have been perfect in the Dark Ages. Are you kidding me? That's why they're not only rolling back the progressive era, the New Deal, the Great Society. They're rolling us back. They're rolling back the American Revolution. Make no mistake. They're rolling us back to the Dark Ages, where these idiots are speaking in tongues on the Arizona House floor, but doing nothing to actually reduce the abortion rate. It's incredible. You see, criminalizing abortion does not make it not needed, as anyone will tell you, as, facts, reality can tell you. But that doesn't matter. Facts have a liberal bias. Hold on. Where is he? They, I should say. Whoever the hell they are. These two morons.
That to happen. They don't want it to take place.
They don't want it to happen. I can't. This is another thing. Like, we have to put these people in history's trash bin. Are we going to have to endure this con man again? God help us. No, we won't. I mean, unless they unless they kick enough people off the voting rolls. Because the fact is that we shouldn't even be in this position. The Democrats, liberals, normal people, progressives, we have been entirely too tolerant of of this tyranny of the minority that we've been under for as long as I have been, politically aware. That's the truth. We're always making compromises to these conservative, anti-Americans. Always compromising to them. Compromising with our democracy. And getting lower and lower. And as we compromise, the pillars of democracy get whittled away. And it's like a funhouse mirror of kookiness. Because going back to the abortion thing because it's this is the two things these two idiots are talking about here, but they're doing it because they know that people, especially their base, they will believe it. They're dumb enough to believe it. And as long as he says it again and again, like that Democrats are killing babies, they're going to believe it. The idiots believe it. It doesn't matter that the truth is that no, Democrats are not killing babies. Democrats are the ones who are helping babies, helping families, doing as much as they can to ensure that a child can get fed, educated, housed, and can be part of an American future worthy of them. And what are these monsters doing? Turning this country into any authoritarian hellscape. Pick one. Pick one conservative theocracy. Show me where it's functioning, where people are happy. They don't mind as long as they're at the top of the heap. They will turn this country into Saudi Arabia, into Pakistan, into Russia. Russia's an oligarchy. That's what they're comfortable there. Then we the peons can't question our betters. Hold on. Let's get to this idiot over here.
Who have come into the country.
Oh, here's the lies. Here's the whole thing is a lie.
Is the number one issue in America. There's never been a political issue that scored so high in the polls as a matter of concern.
Scored so high in the polls. This is where the what came first, the chicken or the egg bullshit. The whole, it's up in the polls. Everyone's talking about immigration. They're all discussing it. All Americans are so worried about it suddenly. That's because it's on the freaking propaganda channels 24/7. Because what else have they got to say? What else do they have? They don't want to talk about abortion because it's not a winning issue for them. They want to tickle racist funny bones and get people upset about how abortion, the border's out of control. Well, why did they block the most conservative bill? Of course, because they want it out of control. How else are they going to destroy America? They need crisis. They need a crisis. They need racism. They need the idiots to fall for it. Whoops, I hit the wrong button, damn it.
Catastrophe is...
It's a catastrophe. I don't know what it is about these people's...
Building the wall. They did
their voices. This fake ass... Well, it was like with Kevin McCarthy, too. His fake ass emoting. And then of course, him, Moscow Mike, this phony, the way that they try to pretend they have feelings. And look at this freaking dullard behind him, this effing baboon, this orange baboon behind him. No offense to baboons who know how to behave half the time, at least, unlike these guys.
Thing exactly the opposite of what this president had achieved, and that's why we have this catastrophe. It has all sorts
yes,
of
it's always
terrible
everybody
effects.
else's fault, but the party of personal responsibility, right? Even though, you could spit out a bill that is exactly what they've been begging for, but it's everybody else's fault.
The American people.
Yeah,
We
you
know that
care
fentanyl is the
so
leading
much
cause of
about
death.
the American people, right? That's all they think about, the American people. That's why the American people are the least upwardly mobile. That's why we live in the widest income gap. That's why whenever the American people get anything, that the Republicans are going to court. They got to try to stop it. The American people are going to pay less in drugs, for prescription medicine, well, the Republicans they're fast as fucking the Flash going in there to file their lawsuits. Got to stop that. Can't have Americans paying less for their prescription drugs. We need Americans nice and desperate and malleable, and having these the parasites who fund their Republican puppets. They need them fat and happy. And where are you going to get the money from? You got to get it from the American people that they care so much about. Hold on, this is Tara Devlin, Tarabuster.
For Americans age 18 to 49, we know that
Wait, hold on.
designed it. They engineered it to be that way.
Yes,
His actions did that.
No, wait, hold on. I know, I can't. I'm just stopping it. Let's let him speak
Did
for
it
a
by
minute.
design. We documented 64 specific executive actions
Bullshit.
that he took from the day he walked into the Oval
Oh,
Office.
yes, it's
and
Joe
that his
Biden.
agencies took under Secretary Mayorkas to open the border wide, to
Bullshit.
invite everybody from around the world
Look
to
at
come
that
here,
fucking stupid
including
face in the
hardened
back.
criminals and dangerous persons. And the result,
Bullshit. It's not like everything they talk about. Bullshit. Well, why did the Border Patrol Police Union endorse this bill that the Republicans blocked? Not Republicans, him. MAGA Mike Johnson. Moscow Mike. The filthy fascist liar. The Christian nationalist.
we all know. The official number is 9 million encounters at the
Oh, why
southern
don't you say
border
9
alone,
trillion?
just since Joe
Zillion.
Biden took office. But the actual number is probably close to 16 million
Actually,
illegals who come into
border
the country.
crossings are at an all-time low, by the way. But, don't let facts interfere. In fact, let me give you the exact. Let's see. Border crossings at an all-time low. That's right. Well, this is from Bloomberg, the socialist rag. Don't believe the hype, it says, by Jessica Carl. Oh, I don't have the paywall down. But, the headline is just, more people are crossing into Texas, but directly into the arms of Border Patrol, meaning they are intercepted. And I thought I heard this other statistic that here it is. Illegal border crossings are surprisingly low. Doesn't matter, though. Because whatever they tell these idiots on Fox News, they're going to... It doesn't even matter. The illegal thing only gets hyped whenever a Democrat is in office. We know that. So...
because they desired it. They designed it. They engineered it to be that way.
No.
His actions did that. He ended the Remain in Mexico policy under President Trump's administration. They reinstated catch and release that had been practiced under the Obama administration.
Like these are
they stopped
animals,
building the
of
wall.
course.
They did everything exactly the opposite of what this
Stopped
president
building
had
the
achieved.
wall.
And
Even though Trump, the asshole, Traitor Trump himself, posts pictures of people climbing the wall to somehow say that it's Biden's fault. What, they didn't climb the wall when you were there, asshole? Nobody, all of a sudden, they learn how to climb a wall? Their ideas are old. Like Joe Biden says, you want to talk about old? They're going back to 1864. Old. God damn it. Oh my God. Poppy's on the phone. Hold on a second. Poppy.
Yes.
I'm sorry I left you on hold so long.
No, I wasn't on hold at all.
Oh, okay. That's good.
No.
Because I just saw that I just saw that it popped up. Let me see.
Yeah, I just got on.
Oh, good. How you doing, Pop? It's been a long time. On the phone, everyone. Poppy Champlin, the comedian, the great comedian who's been on tour, and also a regular here on Tarabuster. I've missed you. You're the comedy. I mean, I need you to talk me off the ledge. What's that?
It definitely has been a while.
Yeah, well, you got to talk into the phone, Poppy. You can't walk away from the phone. This is on this is a show. Yeah, okay. We're not just talking on the phone. There's people.
Okay.
There's people here listening.
Okay, I'm back.
Poppy, people in the chat are happy to hear you. So, Pop, what do we do? What's going on? I mean, Jesus Christ, what a shit show!
Wow. Yeah, you got a lot to talk about. I know our shit show is happening here, but what about fucking Iran right now, ready to attack Israel? What are we supposed to think about that?
Oh, my God. I don't know. What, yeah.
It just seems like seems like shit is about to go down.
Right. Well, I mean, it's right-wing policies, see, as far as what happened on October 7th with Israel, we know for a fact that they had pulled people from the border, and that Netanyahu had his eye off the ball because he was worried about being he is indicted. He's like Trump, And so he's trying to keep his position so he doesn't go to jail. And the way that they handle so let's just say if there was another leader in charge, October 7th might not have even happened. Okay, we can't say for sure, of course, but there were warnings about it. There were intelligence about, and they know this now. So, but the way that they're handling, the way that Netanyahu is handling the retaliation, or not just retaliation, like getting the hostages back, or dealing with the Gaza Strip, is completely what all he's doing is ensuring another 10 generation of terrorists are being born right now. Well, you don't do this to people without radicalizing them. So, yeah, and I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it just seems like what is going on? Like, it just seems like everyone is ratcheting up over there. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
and what are we doing? Who are we even? It's too confusing.
I know. Yeah. Yes. According to where is this? The New York Times says Biden's message to Iran on impending attack: "Don't do it." Yeah. So we'll see. Biden told reporters on Friday he expected Iran to launch. Don't do it. As a response to Israel's killing of several top Iranian generals. I mean, this is going to be, it's just going to be worse. But, you don't put, this is what conservatives do. That's a conservative country. Netanyahu's just going to up the ante. And, to talk about what's going on in Gaza, like bombing people, starving people.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a genocide. It's disgusting. And all they're doing is creating more radicals. You give people hope. That's how you change a situation. You don't take all their hope away and kill their children. And, it's just... Yeah, and plus, I mean, it is a war crime, of course. Mass retaliation is illegal according to the articles or whatever, of war.
Really?
Yeah, you're not supposed to retaliate on an entire population, according to. I mean, not that you can't, but yeah, you're not supposed to. It's a war crime. So yeah. Anyway, everything sucks, and yeah.
And what I didn't hear about the people that thought the rapture was coming on the eclipse. What was that about?
Well, they were apparently waiting. Let me see, rapture. Let me look this up. I wish they had rapture. Well, of course they do. Look at perjury Trader Green and her stupid boyfriend that she cheated on her husband with, and then they got a divorce. They were all discussing how it's terrible. What's next? The locusts and perjury Trader Green was she's I mean, this that's they want to live in the dark ages, and what did she say? We better repent. I hope we're listening. America needs to repent.
And then Trump is selling Bibles?
I know. And they're all, and oh my God. And if you look on wherever, on social media, these idiots, if you go on, let me look actually right now. If you go on that fucking asshole's Truth Social, he, of course, which is losing money hand over fist, apparently. Perjury Trader Green she bought some stock and, she's losing her money rapidly. Good for her. But of course, I was trying to buy. I'm sure I'm not alone, but because I have an E-Trade account or whatever. But I was trying to buy short. I don't even know how to do it. So but for Truth Social, I was gonna try to buy a short sell or whatever. You bet against. I don't know how to do it though. But and if I had, you know what I mean, because it's like gambling. That's why Wall Street is just a casino. Right. You bet. It's like playing craps. You can bet against the person who's rolling, or you can bet with them. And if you bet against, right? That's the way it is in the stock market. Hold on a second. I hear the music. We'll be right back with Poppy Champlin. But let me see. So perjury Trader. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
So I hear that when you buy the Bible, it's like $60, and you get the Declaration. No, the Constitution is also tucked away in the Bible. The Declaration, some classified documents, and some nuclear secrets. So
yeah. He could just by thinking about it declassify whatever he wants to do. Yeah. He took him out of the shitter and then put him in. Why not make a buck? That's all he does. Right. That's why. I mean, even he went.
He's selling.
Good. Sorry.
he's selling his little golden sneakers.
Oh,
right.
What a joke.
Those are for like $400.
Are they that much?
It's
wow.
It's $400. But and then as soon as you put them on, they run right to the court.
Right. It's like a GPS. That just takes you right there to whatever, depending on your jurisdiction, you go to the nearest courthouse and turn yourself in, of course, right?
Yes, if you could, yeah.
You just surrender yourself. Right, that's it. Well, that's the thing, this is a cult who sell merchandise of their dear leader surrendering, right? They sell his mugshot under text that says never surrender, right? It doesn't make any sense to me. But I don't live in a fantasy land where a con man with a fake university is a great president because he played a successful businessman on reality television. But, that's just me. And the other...
And people are actually saying, people are uttering the words, he's like the second coming of Christ.
Yes. Have you not heard this?
What is going on?
I know. It's very scary. But, I think that, see, this is the thing. There's a personality type, the authoritarian follower. It's about 35% of the population, and we don't have a corner market on that. They exist everywhere, but we're the only country that not the only country, but the only Western democracy that has these people in positions of power. You can't have a successful country with morons who don't believe in reality. In power, and they're nefarious too. They're attacking reality. They are, and they know what they're doing. That's the other thing. They know that the election wasn't stolen. They know that. They know that Trump is unfit. They know that, but they're just going along. They're playing along.
Like the sycophants. Yeah.
Yes, because they want their cushy jobs. They want that's really all it is. They want their...
He'll keep them right there, in their cushy job.
That's it. All they had to do was stick together in the beginning, and especially after he attacked the Capitol and all that. That could have been it. They all knew.
Yeah.
If anybody else had used taxpayer money as their own personal extortion fund, and that would have been it, right? But then he goes on and goes on with this coup bullshit. Election is stolen bullshit, and incites a violent coup where morons storm the Capitol and and defecate in the halls, right? Defecate, urinate, beat cops. Just disgusting people who are traitors. Yeah. And that would have been it. You would think. All they had to do was stick together. That's it. But they can't, because they're all a bunch of self-serving, self-seeking, selfish sycophants who, it doesn't matter. They took an oath to the Constitution. Really? You take an oath to the Constitution and then you see that? You know what you're dealing with. It's so pathetic, isn't it? It's so... They should be so embarrassed. Because the fact is...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, on the other side of this, when we defeat this maggot infestation, which is, they're a minority of the population. That's why it will only go, his support will not go below 35% because of the authoritarian personality, as about 35% of the population. But all of this other bullshit... he's like Christ, he's selling Bible, all this other, second coming, that turns normal people off. So, anyway.
Ridiculous. It's just fairyland.
I know.
Craziness.
It's nuts. Like, he's the second coming.
And he's eating it up.
Yes.
Crazy.
Oh, and I believe that he totally believes it too. Like, after a while, because he's such a narcissist, and he believes it. Yeah. Well, of course.
Does.
He probably does. But the other thing is that
maybe with those sneakers you can walk on water with those sneakers.
Really? No, you probably sink right to the bottom. But the fact is that this is the other thing. He hates those people who buy his sneakers. He hates them. They are suckers to him. He doesn't want them hanging out at Maramoron. You don't see him with these people. He's sidling up, to his buddies who have money, the banksters. He wants them to be his pals, or Putin, but not any of these yokels, these dumbasses with their stupid cult-looking, made in China flags and everything. He likes the attention, but he hates those people. That's why he steals from them all the time. Sells them magic beans and they buy it up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because even with this Truth Social stock, these idiots were buying it to to increase the stock price for their dear leader.
Right.
And how long can you maintain that? Not for. It's just that's how stupid they are. They're willing to just put everything on the line for this moron who hates them. He's really a parasite on there. Well, whatever. Yeah, he's just the biggest parasite that ever. I mean, I can't even think of one redeeming quality. Can you? Oh wait, I have to put your picture up. Let me see. So everybody knows who we're talking to here. So yeah.
I got a new headshot last night.
Oh really? You got to send it to me.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Not now. I'm not going to do it now. But when for next time. You've been on tour, Poppy?
I don't think so.
What?
No.
I've been saying you've been on tour. You've been doing shows. I've seen it.
Oh yeah. I'm always doing shows. That is always happening.
That's true. So you haven't been on tour. You've just been ignoring me? Is that it? No,
yeah.
No, I'm only kidding.
I've been so busy with my mom.
Oh, right. Your mom is how old?
She's 91. I may rent my home and move in with her for the summer.
That's a good idea, actually.
Make sure she doesn't fall down and kill herself, or I don't know what.
Yeah, you got to be very careful at that. Does she have her mind?
Sometimes. It's at that stage where sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. Kind of.
Really? Has she been diagnosed with dementia?
No. Well, we went to the doctor the other day, and he's just like, she's really fine for 91, and she's just having normal old age forgetting, and but it's hard to deal with.
No, I hear you.
Here's another one of my
Wait,
jokes.
hold on a second, Poppy. Here comes the music. Let me hold on to that for 1 second. We'll be right back with Poppy Champlin on the phone. All right, we're back. Talking to Poppy Champlin. This is Tara Devlin on Tarabuster. So what were you saying, Poppy?
So how about that women's basketball March Madness?
Mm-hmm. That was good, right? I don't know. I wasn't really.
You didn't watch it?
I'm not into sports. Yeah.
Oh,
but
man.
I heard it.
Caitlin Clark was like America's sweetheart. She broke all the women's basketball records. She broke men's basketball records.
Oh, really?
Shooting points from oh my God! She was shooting shots from like mid-court, like regularly. I mean, it was like.
Are you kidding me?
She was unbelievable. 19 million people watched the women's basketball game.
That's good.
19 million. It's the most ever.
Wow.
Like ever. Yeah. So what she's doing, Caitlin Clark has really changed the thing of basketball. And so they asked Trump what he thought about Caitlin Clark, and he said he didn't watch it, and he didn't let Melania watch it because he didn't want her getting any big ideas.
Are you serious? What?
And they asked Biden what he thought about the game, and he said, I think Caitlin Clark is great, and she was awesome in the Hunger Games.
Really? He said that? Are you kidding me? No.
That's my joke.
Oh. See, I'm gullible.
You are.
I know I am. People tell me things. I'm like, really? That's funny. Yeah. No, I didn't.
That was a big. Yeah, it was a big deal.
That's pretty cool. And I guess good for her. That's good for her.
Yeah.
She's got a whole life ahead of her. Good for her.
Oh yeah, she's going into the NBA. Probably top draft pick.
Yeah, I think she already got offers apparently for the WNBA or whatever. Right?
Jim Adelberg just wrote, Tara's disinterest in basketball is palpable.
I used to play basketball when I was a kid, but
You did?
Yeah, I was on the basketball team. I'm 6 feet tall, people. I'm tall.
Wow.
Yeah, you know that.
So in high school?
Yeah, I was 6 feet tall in high school. What the hell, man?
So you were the center.
I was a forward. on the basketball team.
What?
I mean, I enjoyed
6
playing.
feet tall, and you were wow.
What the fuck? I don't even understand why you're so shocked. And then I played on the
Because
court
you should have been
TV.
the center.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it was not for me. I don't remember. I remember playing, and it was nice. I enjoy playing sports more than I do watching them. It's kind of boring to watch sports. I like, being in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, so I play. And I also played on the court TV basketball team when I worked at court TV.
Court TV.
Yeah, we had a
Wow.
basketball team at Chelsea Piers, and we would play others. And
Oh,
it was fun.
cool.
Yeah, no, that was great. I loved it. It was good exercise. So,
It
very
is.
good.
Really good exercise.
Yeah, it's really good.
Up
But
on the knees.
yeah. Anyway, everything else sucks. But
Anyway.
yeah, well, fuck them all. So, what do you think about this abortion going back to 1864? Feeling good?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable. I like that. I like the. Who's our vice president?
Who's what? Harris?
Who's our vice-
Who's our
Yeah,
vice president?
Kamala Harris. I like what she said today. She was giving that speech in Arizona, and she said, if this happens, and if this, if there's a federal ban, and she goes, because Trump said he wouldn't do a federal ban, but
Oh God,
he's like,
please,
stop
please.
gaslighting.
He doesn't matter what he says. He just says whatever anybody wants to hear, depending on who he's talking to. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So she said that, and she goes, do you know what's going to happen? And I wanted to write, yeah, there's going to be a lot more lesbians in this world, I'll tell you that.
Right.
If you can't get an abortion, women will just go gay. They're like, fuck.
That'll be good. Yeah, that's a good idea. Man, I didn't think of it like that. That's true. It's too much hassle.
Yeah.
Right? Unbelievable,
Totally.
though. It's just so unbelievable because, like we say, criminalizing abortion does not reduce the abortion rate. They're just making it unsafe and killing women. So, yeah, it really is a attack on everything that, we thought we had overcome. We were thought, and this is really a backlash. It kind of shows us how successful we've been in a way, but it can't be allowed to stand. And, with this bullshit, and it's no coincidence, like when Alito and these filthy right wingers on the court, on this illegitimate Supreme Court, excuse me, they wrote, when he wrote the majority opinion, Alito, apparently, and he quoted a jurist from like 1600s. That also, yes, that's who he relied on, who also burned witches at the stake.
Oh,
that was another thing. He was a noted misogynist in his day. Okay, so he was known as a misogynist, who like an over the top. I'm trying to find the. Let me see. Witches. Let me look this up. Isn't that insane? And he, in the Dobbs decision that overturned Roe v. Wade, he's quoting this guy as because this is what they do. They go and they go through old cases and they rely, they'll say, like it says in this and like it says in that, so and so versus so and so. But he goes back. He doesn't have anything modern to even talk about or to cite. He goes to it's not even an American, by the way. This is an English jurist from the 1600s in this Dobbs decision. And is it? It's it's just such a disgrace,
I don't understand. I don't understand why women can't stop having sex.
What do you mean?
Men.
With men?
Why?
I don't
With
know.
men.
They
Why
like
can't
them, I
they
guess.
Stop?
They like
Why
them.
can't there just be a protest?
True.
And just
That's
stop?
true. I think
You know what I
that
mean?
is
Like
something.
frozen women.
Yeah, that happened somewhere. Let me look this up. there was a protest in another country about, and women went on strike. Let's see. What country?
It just seems like American women cannot get their shit together to do that.
Well, I guess they think things are normal. It hasn't hit them quite yet. And I know that a lot of women in blue states think they're safe, but no. And like we think we're safe as far as being gay. We think, now anybody can get married, equal rights. This can all roll back. There's no, with these idiots, with these unfit,
oh yeah,
demon haunted morons, these the pets of billionaires on the bench, they're already promising it. That's what Uncle Clarence Thomas said in his opinion, in his writing about the Dobbs decision, that next stop, gay marriage. Next stop, not only gay marriage, the contraception contraceptives for married couples. Can you believe, because that used to be illegal.
Why?
And now they want to. He's saying that needs to be revisited. These fucking people.
Why? What is it that needs to be revisited? Why does it?
Because they can't stand living in a modern democracy. That is what it's about. It's about control. I don't care if if Uncle Clarence is black, he's got darker pigment. There's somebody, Freud would hang up his shingle dealing with him because he's somebody, he benefited from all the policies that progressives, liberals were trying to make to make a more perfect union, and then he pulls the ladder up behind him. He's very upset about it, that he had to, that this is even a thing, that he had to even, anybody could look down on him because of affirmative action. But that's not, nobody's looking down on you but you, honey. But this is what they do. They climb the ladder, and then they pull it up behind them. And he's a case in point. Let me see. Stopped having sex as a protest. I thought I heard about this as a... it sounds familiar.
But is that a story or was that true? I think it was true. But
That's it. According to, let me see, in 2011, women in the small Colombian town of Barbacoas, Barbacoas, organized a crossed legs movement and refused to have sex with their partners until the government paved a dangerous road connecting their town. And then in 2006, the partners of gang...
a road? They did it over a road? Oh, my God.
Really. Hold on a second. I hear the music. What the hell?
Oh, my God.
We'll be right back on Tarabuster with Poppy Champlin. All right. Then it says, in 2006, partners of gang members of the Colombian city Pereira protested violence by refusing to have sex in an effort to convince the gang members to hand in their guns and attend a training program. So, I guess I was sick of burying their loved ones, right? And or their sons or their daughters. In 2009, Kenyan women enforced a sex ban until political infighting in the country ceased, which resulted in it says it resulted in a stable government within a week.
Within a week?
A sex strike. That's interesting. Yeah, the sex strike.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't get our shit together and do this.
Maybe. Because there has to be some kind of unity.
Within a week?
I know. Well, that's what happens when you stick together. When you stick together, you win. But, yeah, it takes a long time,
Men like sex that much.
Yeah, I guess so.
Men like sex probably more than anything, huh?
I suppose. I don't know. Something about that. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm not a man. They definitely do. I don't know what's in there. They have, testosterone and whatnot. It's a fucking
Yeah.
fucked up drug, in their minds. It screws them up. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to find this other thing. Let me see. This is what annoys me about me, is that I spend time writing things and then I can't find it. Or this happens on the show all the time. I wrote a thing about the witches and Alito, and let me see. I'll have to look it up, and then I just end up looking it up on the show again. Alito and the witches. So let me see. Here we go. Yes, the draft overturning of Roe v. Wade quotes infamous witch trial judge with a long discredited history of ideas on rape. Yes, that's the other thing. He didn't think that a husband could rape a wife, which, of course, was still legal in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
Husbands could rape their wives without consequence because you were their property. And not just that, women couldn't get a credit card, or they couldn't take out any loans. They had no financial autonomy, and that's
it was only 50 years ago.
Yeah, I know, and they want to go back to that. They do. In fact, even
is
women.
That where they're going? Is that where they're
absolutely beyond there? They're going back to the dark ages.
They wouldn't want to do that. They want women to spend money.
No, they want control.
No.
They believe that women are. I mean, see, that's the whole thing. Everything that I say is proven right, and it sucks, and I hate that. It sucks to be right, because I want to be wrong about this. I want them not to be the way they are. I don't want to be dragged back to 1864.
Exactly.
But they just don't. They don't want. They can't function in a democracy. They talk about religious freedom, right? And I saw this video earlier, and I should have grabbed it, but it was a guy interviewing. They go in, and one of the big videos or genres of videos on YouTube is going into the maggot camp and interviewing these idiots, and it's the stuff that comes out of their mouths. That's when you hear how Trump is Jesus and all this other shit. But a guy went in and he was talking to these maggots, and he said he was asking them about gays, and he's one of the guys. He's wearing the regalia of a maggot, a stupid hat, stupid everything, stupid looking, and he says that what was he saying? He's like, what do you think about gay marriage? And he's like, I'm against it. It should go, or no one should, whatever, gays should not shove it in our faces, right? I don't care what you do in your own home, just don't put it in my face. And we know, we've been hearing this forever. And just don't shove it in our face. And then the guy said to him, well, what if somebody told you couldn't practice or be a Christian in public? How would you feel about that? And he was like, humana. They don't see, that they lack the ability to, when they're confronted with reality. What are you talking about? You don't want to be gay. Oh, then don't be gay, But you don't have the right to tell other people how they should live their life. Nobody's hurting you. It doesn't. Somebody's gay marriage, it's not hurting you. And that's the other thing with them. They have always, like, you've heard it, we've heard it our whole life, how it was an attack, like gay marriage is an attack on heterosexual marriage. Well, where have all the heterosexual marriages collapsed since gay people have been married? I haven't heard of a one, said to me. Right? But how long did we have to put up with that shit? Listening to that bullshit. How, it's going to collapse, right? Like gay marriage is going to collapse the institution of marriage. It's over. But it's like what I called the show tonight, one crisis after another, one fake crisis after fake crisis after fake crisis. It's exhausting.
Yep.
And then, corporate media just goes along. Oh,
Yeah, they
what's
love it.
Yeah, it's sickening. What's Trump saying now about abortion? Well, you used to be against abortion. I heard today. You used to be for abortion. Now you're against it. What do you what do you think or whatever? Like, he doesn't think. He doesn't have any political ideology. His ideology is keep me out of jail. His ideology is whatever he thinks anybody wants him to say to put him in a position of power. He doesn't have an ideology. His ideology is himself.
What's his name? His writer, Steve. Is it Steve Middleman or something?
Who? What writer?
What was the
Stephen Miller. Oh, that guy, the Nazi Jew guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's writing for him.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a horrible monster himself. That's another one pulling up the ladder behind. His family literally escaped the Holocaust, and and he's here, trying to make sure that nobody has that chance, just to escape their conditions, and attacking immigrant. I mean, he's just like, they're horrible. Ugh.
Like, who tells him these things to say? Like,
who, Trump?
I don't know who's writing. Huh? Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of it comes. Well, you could tell when he's reading, of course. He's like, he gets that stupid, dullard monotone, and then he, he's like, he doesn't, and you could tell when he's off the cuff. That's when he's like, he makes his, when he starts calling people horse face and whatnot. All right.
Yeah.
And mocking Joe Biden's stutter. I can't. But they're Christian, though. They're so Christian. Yeah. It's so exhausting. So, yeah, here's the guy's name who was Sir Matthew Hale. He's not even an American. He lived in the 1600s. And his influence on the United States has waned since the 70s. But, of course, Alito resurrected him. He was considered misogynistic even in his own time, even by his own era's notably low standards. And it said, Hale once wrote a long letter to his grandchildren dispensing life advice in which he veered into a screed against women, describing them as chargeable, unprofitable people who know the ready way to consume an estate and to ruin a family quickly. Hale particularly despaired of the changes he saw in young women, saying, and now the world is altered. Young gentlewomen learn to be bold and talk loud. He was upset about that. You got to shut up. Uppity. All right, well, hold on a second, Poppy. Don't go anywhere, because I got to say, see you later to the Progressive Voices part of the show, but come on over to youtube.com/cfachannel/Tarabuster to hear the rest of the show with Poppy Champlin, comedian extraordinaire, and me, Tara Devlin. And we will win. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for keeping the show going and growing. Thank you for your patronage, patrons, and thank you for your super chats. I can't do it without you. We stick together, we win. Thank you. My name is Tara Devlin, and I will see you soon. All right, we're back. So, yeah, anyway, everything sucks.
What? So you just start taping one thing and then flip it over to something else?
What are you saying? What?
I don't know.
I have to.
What, you just stopped. You said good. We're ending now and we're going over to YouTube.
Oh no, because I have to do. That's why we have the music here on Fridays, because the Progressive Voices only plays a certain segment. I have to do the music because they cut to commercial. Okay, so I have to do segments in 9 minutes, 11 minutes, 9 minutes, whatever. It's a thing. And because of that commercial stuff, I had to, the Progressive Voices people don't get the full show on Progressive Voices, which sucks. So, yeah, I do a 2-hour show, but they only get like an hour and a half, really, because the rest is commercials for them. And hopefully, well, they come over. They can watch the end of the show. So we're not going anywhere. And the only reason I do the music is so I know where to cut the show and to send it to Progressive Voices. So, yeah, that's the story.
Well, you're doing a great job. You really are.
Thank you.
How long have you been on now?
I don't know.
You've been on quite a while.
Whatever. Don't remind me.
Come on. No, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's good. I enjoy it, because I love the people that watch the show. They're the ones that keep me going. Like everyone in the chat: Jim, Ed, Eve, Twisted Nerves Painting, Trucker John.
Yeah, who's that person?
What? Who's that?
Twisted Nerves is.
He's got his own channel where he paints.
Nice.
You should subscribe to it right now.
Oh.
Yes,
Cool.
exactly. He paints. And, of course, Coup, who I think is not in the chat tonight.
Yeah.
Even though I'm taking attendance, I think he's
I'm
took the night off. Yes, and Kathy and Jim, of course. And everyone who I love. If I missed anybody, let me know. I'll give you a shout out. Ed the Second. We got, anyway. Suzanne. I see you there, Suzanne. Well, yeah. I can't do, I wouldn't do it if nobody ever showed up. I'd be like, fuck it.
Right.
But I enjoy doing it. And it clearly does. I'll tell you some more stories off air. But it triggers the maggots.
I have to go because I am so tired.
All right, I understand.
I got up too early today.
You're fine. You're fine. You built what? What did you do? You built
I'm building a room in my mother's house in the basement.
Wow.
I'm redoing the basement.
Wow, kid. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You could do
I
that?
know.
You need to come to my house
I'm
and do my kitchen. I need a new kitchen.
Well, I can't do it. I mean, I got some guys.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
But I might do more. I might do the insulation and maybe some of the sheetrocking. I don't know.
I know. You're very talented with that. You do a lot of things. Like you do gardens and you build things, right? You do a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. It keeps you going. Keeps your mind.
It does.
Right. It keeps you, you got to do things like that. I do.
You do.
Yeah, I do. You do. All right, Poppy. Thank you for calling in.
Right.
Don't be a stranger.
Absolutely. Good to hear you.
You too. Let's talk later. I love you.
All right.
I love you, kid.
I'll love you too, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes. All right, Poppy. Thank you so much. I'll see you later.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. The great Poppy Champlin. Let me shut off the call-in studio. So, because I gotta pay. You gotta pay. You got $1? Call-in studio says, give me $1. You want to take phone calls? You got $1? Oh, I hate them. Okay, hold on. Not call-in studio. I'm not kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. All right, let me see. Where were we? Talking about the maggot. Oh, let me get rid of Poppy's pick. How's everybody doing in the chat room at youtube.com/c4channel/Tarabuster? Thank you for hanging out. And where'd you go? Here we go. Yeah. It was great to hear from Poppy. Exactly. Oh, there's Poppy. She went right into the chat room. Yes. And here's the thing. Let me play this. Here's Liz Cheney talking about Mike Johnson.
If you look at what Donald Trump is trying to do he can't do it by himself. He has to have collaborators. And the story of Mike Johnson is the story of a collaborator and of someone
Yes.
who knew then and knows now that what he's doing and saying is wrong, but he's willing to do it in an effort to please Donald Trump. And
That's sick.
that's what makes it dangerous.
The Speaker of the House is a collaborator to overthrow the last election.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The Speaker of the House is a collaborator to overthrow the last election. Absolutely. Now, mark my words, guys. When we smash them legally and peacefully into history's trash bin, and this is all beyond us, where America is a functioning democracy again, they will build statues to Liz Cheney and the likes of her, who didn't go along with the Maggot movement, which is really a bowel movement. But she's 100% correct when she said that one day, Donald Trump's gonna be gone, but your disgrace, that's gonna last. And history is not going to be kind to these people. We know that. It never is. It's not going to be kind to MAGA Mike Johnson, to Moscow Mike. It's not going to be kind to Trump. Trust me. When this time is written by future generations, they're going to know exactly what went on. They're going to know that Trump is a liar, and as we know now, and he's going to be noted as a liar who couldn't respect the peaceful transfer of power. It's not going to, in the future, and trust me, he's going to lose. He will lose. And, I hope I don't eat those words. I as I'm saying it, I could tell in my mind. Sometimes I have feelings. Sometimes I'll say things. Not that I'm a psychic, whatever, but he's going to lose. We know that. They're losing now. Unless they cheat, beyond reason, where they kick enough people off the rolls and corporate media does its own hit job against Joe Biden constantly, just making me sick. And making the whole country sick. But this will pass. Trump is going to be gone. He's an old man. And hopefully we'll all see him, get the justice he deserves and ends up where he belongs. And it's not in the White House. But it's like when you think about, for example, in history, right? What happened, Anne Boleyn, Henry VIII's second wife, she promised Henry a male heir, and she didn't fulfill her promise, so he had to get rid of her. And he did so they drummed up a whole campaign saying that she had sex with 100 men and she was cheating on the king, and thereby committing treason. That was the official line. That's what lots of the sycophants said. Of course they did. In the inner circle, they didn't challenge their dear leader, Henry VIII, right? But history knows the truth. We know that, we know the reality. That she was executed simply because she didn't give him a male heir, and he had to get rid of her. We didn't, go along like, wow. It's not that children are learning this in history, or any of us think that in any way, shape, or form is reality. It's the same thing is going to happen here. The future generations, we already know he's a liar. We already know Joe Biden, he won the election. He won. Trump isn't man enough to admit it. He's been setting this up, even when he was running against Hillary Clinton and pulled out that royal flush that night. Even before he said that the election, I will accept the results of the election if I win. Right? He was real cute. So, truth, the truth is out there. not to go X-Files, but we know the truth. We already know it. They know it. Perjury Trader Green knows it. They all know it. And they're going along anyway because they want their cushy jobs. And in fact, there was an article. I don't mean to go into it because it's getting a little late. But where is this article? Written in the Atlantic, which was pretty good, about the the 10 senators that could have stopped Trump. And it's written in the Atlantic by Jeffrey Goldberg. And it's an article called A Study in Senate Cowardice. Republicans like Rob Portman could have ended Donald Trump's political career, and they chose not to. Right? But they'll leave that up to those with integrity. Like the inner circle, Trump's inner circle, Mark Miltley and even Rex Tillerson. Like all these people that were in even his vice president says he's unfit. They knew this. He was unfit, to do The Apprentice, frankly. But then the stakes weren't as high. Hold on a second. Here's MAGA Mike. Oh, talking. Well, see, they're lying, of course. Here's MAGA Mike, or Moscow Mike, talking about how illegals sign up to vote at the DMV.
Republicans are introducing a bill that will require proof
Another
of
fake
citizenship
crisis.
to vote.
This already
it seems
happens.
like common sense. I'm sure all of us would agree.
Yeah.
We only want U.S. citizens to vote in
Thank
U.S.
God.
elections. But there are some Democrats who don't want to
Bullshit.
do that.
Bullshit.
We believe that one of their designs, one of the reasons for this open border, which everybody asks all around the country, why would they do this? Why would they allow all this chaos? Why the violence?
Why
Because
would
they
you
want to turn
lie?
these people into voters.
Bullshit.
Right now, the administration is encouraging illegals to go to their local welfare office to sign up for benefits.
No,
well,
they're
guess what?
not.
When you go to a welfare office, they also ask you if you would like to register to vote.
What? Oh,
And so
really?
many people, we think,
Be
are going to do that.
afraid.
And,
Many people are going to do that. It's of course another bullshit fake crisis. No. Democrats don't want illegals to vote. In fact, this is what happens. There is no illegals voting. Illegals don't vote. Because guess what, dum-dum? MAGA Moscow Mike, they're illegal, quote unquote. They don't want to get caught. How stupid do you have to be to even buy this bullshit? The fact is, the overwhelming evidence of voter fraud is extremely rare. And we already have laws stopping non-citizens, let's say, from voting. Non-citizens can't vote. But this bullshit canard about how Democrats want illegals to vote. They're open borders, letting all the illegals in because they want new voters is just nothing but racist bullshit. Recycled old racist bullshit. Just like they're recycled old misogynist bullshit. They're fake-ass Christian, not, faux Christian bullshit. Because they're not Christians. I wish they were. Because we wouldn't have to deal with their lies constantly. I know real Christians. And that's not them. They don't look like them. They don't lie about their fellow Americans as easy as breathing. They don't spew racist lies to divide people. And frankly, real Christians don't show up at migrant centers or shelters and scream and shine strobe lights into their windows to terrify them and say, you're not welcome here. Sick. Studies and investigations have found that voter fraud is rare. And in fact, here's the actual rate. Rates of voter fraud at 0.0000013%. Okay, that is 0.02% of ballots cast. It's infinitesimal. Is that the right word? The specific states and jurisdictions examined say that cases of potential voter fraud, only a handful of these cases were identified out of millions of votes cast. So, and the fact is, people who vote illegally get caught. And even if they don't get caught, let's say somebody slips through, it's not to the extent that it has any effect on the election. And the other thing is, most of the people caught voting illegally are Republicans. They're from the villages. Because they're hearing this shit from their dear leaders, from their dim leaders. They're fascists, they're Fuhrer. And they're like, well, if the Democrats are going to illegally vote and send the illegals to vote, which isn't happening, I'm going to do it to save my dear leader from, losing. I have to do my duty. This is what we found in the last election. When voter fraud occurs, it's often Republicans. When voter fraud, it says it's more often committed by Republicans than Democrats. For example, in the 2018 North Carolina congressional race, a Republican operative was convicted of ballot tampering, not a Democratic operative. In the 2020 election, a Texas man was charged with 134 felony counts of voter fraud. A Republican voting multiple times for Trump. So give me a break. And this is, of course, there are other instances, the villages, people being arrested from the villages for voting illegally. Saying that I had to do it for my dear leader. Just like they had to buy Truth Social stock. God, I'm so sick of it. And the same shit, one of the things when I was watching this MAGA Moscow Mike press conference with Traitor Trump, and he was going on with the oldies, It was like sweating to the oldies. They spied on my campaign. They spied. No collusion. And it's bullshit. He keeps saying they spied on my campaign. First of all, there's of course, no collusion. Everybody said no collusion. The fact is, there was collusion. The Senate, they did an investigation. It was a bipartisan investigation into election interference. And that's public knowledge. But Russia did interfere. That's what it said. It interfered in the election in 2016, and they're back for more. They concocted a sophisticated social media campaign, hacking of Democratic Party networks. That's another thing. They also hacked the Republican Party, but they didn't do anything with the data. They didn't expose any embarrassing secrets, even though the Republicans have many and plenty to choose from. They probably just held them in their back pocket, as whatever you call it, compromise, right? Unbelievable. But the Mueller report here, it is true. They didn't find sufficient evidence of a criminal conspiracy between Trump and the Trump campaign in Russia, because the Trump campaign were a bunch of dullards, dumbasses, meeting with Russians without even knowing. Like when Traitor taught took the meeting about, Hillary Clinton's some bullshit that I love it, he wrote back to this Russian spy. Then remember when he said how, I was really meeting about Russian adoption, because he so cares and he's so concerned about adoption, right? Trump has repeatedly claimed that his campaign was spied on by the FBI. That's another thing I'm so sick of hearing because it's false. You know what really makes me sick, though, is that he gets to say these things and nobody pushes back. When I was watching the press conference earlier, when he was going on about how Democrats want babies to be killed post-birth and all this other shit, nobody said anything. None of the reporters yelling questions said, that's just plain old bullshit. Right? Nobody said it. They just leave it out there. They let it lay in the middle of the floor like a stink bomb. But the other thing, when he goes on, spied on, like nobody's ever seen, the FBI conducted lawful surveillance of some Trump campaign advisors based on their suspicious behavior when they were meeting with Russians. They had a duty to investigate. Are these a bunch of traitors? Of course they are. But there is no evidence that this even amounted to spying on the campaign itself. And what are we gonna learn? What would they learn if they spied on him? What are they gonna learn? They're gonna see him what? His great political his political ops. What are we gonna do when he calls somebody a fat pig? Is that what we're gonna learn? Him, how he's gonna tickle racist funny bones, how he's gonna debase the office of the presidency? Is that it? What a political genius. Tickling those racist funny bones. No one ever thought of that. Calling somebody a horse face. What a genius. Horse face. I wouldn't rape her. She's not my type. What a genius. What a genius. It's so unbelievable that, here's the media just letting all these lie stenches lay in the middle of the floor, unchallenged. So, the evidence says that Trump, talking about Russia, no collusion. Well, funny enough, Trump has been, not funny enough, he's a traitor he would sell his own mother to Russia if it would give him money and power. Allow him to do whatever he wanted to do. He wants to be Putin, you understand that. He wants that. He admires Kim Jong-un. He wants people to go, oh, yes, sir. When he steps off this mortal coil, he wants everybody to go, and not want to be afraid to be the first one to stop crying. That's what he wants. That's why he wanted a military parade down, Pennsylvania Avenue. That's why when he gets in front of anything military, he puts on a salute. He steals valor with his salute. Oh, well, he would never wear the uniform when he was called. His feet hurt. But he wants to look real tough with that salute, which makes me sick. He has no right to salute. He's not in the military. He's a civilian. Even if you're commander in chief. That's the whole thing. They love the founders. They love to pretend that the founders were all Christians, of course. But the founders made a civilian leadership of the military deliberately because of their knowledge of the fact that, military. The military often overthrows government. So you want to have civilians in charge, not generals. The generals should answer to the civilians. But he doesn't know that, right? He doesn't know anything about this country except they had a hump a flag for the morons. It makes them feel like they're patriotic when their dear leader humps a flag. The poor flag, really. I'm sure the flag has flashbacks. The flag needs counseling, frankly, sexual assault counseling, PTSD. So, yeah, he's been remarkably accommodating to his hero, Vladimir Putin, despite Russia's interference in our election and their continuing interference. He's, of course, remember how disgusting he was? How embarrassing he was in Helsinki? That disgusting display of weakness, really. He's just weak. Saying that, oh, well, we are, Putin and we're talking about some internet thing that they were going to set up, a secure internet. Oh, my God. Putin he can't even believe his luck. Right? With this con man. Oh, my God. All I have to do is flatter him? And he will do all the work of destroying democracy for me. Yeah, so Trump, he's praised Putin. He's opposed sanctions on Russia. And even sided with Putin over U.S. intelligence agencies. And now, Republicans, this is how much they hate this country. They go after the FBI. Right? Everybody, defund the police, they cry. But the only ones defunding the police are them. Because in an authoritarian country, the police are for the police state. They don't like the police. They don't respect the police. They don't support the police. They support the police state. And if the police work to protect democracy, protect the underdog, protect, the destruction of democracy, the Republicans and Trump, they hate the police. That's why they go after the police. The only ones defunding the police, the Justice Department, the FBI, that is them. Just like the only ones who are creating this open border chaos are them. They have the nerve to cry about those who have died of fentanyl. Fentanyl overdose. Oh, fentanyl's coming in. Well, part of the bill that you're blocking has all these high-tech machines that the Border Patrol, that the Border Police want. So they can detect fentanyl. More protection for the people you pretend to represent. They don't give a shit who dies of fentanyl. These people hate everybody but them. They have no compassion. That's your compassionate conservatism. Oh, I could tell you more when we meet one day. I'll tell you more about compassionate conservatism. What I have to deal with these losers who do, they're not patriots. They're not Christians. They're not anything that they purport to be. That's why they're so angry, and they bring nothing to the table but further division. While Democrats are out there working for the American people. They're not perfect, of course not. But while Democrats are revitalizing infrastructure, right? While Democrats are making it, what do you call it? Medicaid or Medicare, negotiate drug prices, right? Things like that. What are the Republicans doing? They're talking about they're passing laws to stop illegals from voting. Laws that already exist. Yeah. They've been busy. I mean, Republicans, this is what they do. They are busy jumping from manufactured crisis to manufactured crisis, while Democrats are busy passing popular policies that actually improve people's lives. Republicans fabricated a series of phony crises. Let's go through wokeness. Remember the war against wokeness. Florida's where wokeness goes to die. I mean, all this, it's so tedious. Transgender rights, that's another crisis. Less than 1% of the population. The Republicans are going to swoop down and tell people how to live. They want to stop any humanity, any gender affirming care. They want to go there they are again, in your doctor's office, in your family's private discussions, right? How about critical race theory? That was another crisis, a recent crisis. We had to, I'm sure it's still going on, we had to talk about all the time, deflecting attention away from actual crises, like the growing concentration of wealth at the top, like the fact that the United States is the only country without health care as a right, like the fact that the income gap is now wider than it was in ancient Rome. But, in contrast, Democrats focus on delivering tangible results. They're doing that. Like Biden overseeing the creation of 12 million new jobs, which is it's a record. Like Trump, like nobody's ever seen. Trumpy, who left office with a worse jobs record than Herbert Hoover, and that was before the pandemic. I know he claimed, it's all down the memory hole. Right? 12 million new jobs. That's only, we're not even done yet. This is 3 years in. The lowest unemployment rate in 50 years. The largest investment in infrastructure in a generation. Manufacturing is back. We're manufacturing chips in the country. Jobs are created. Infrastructure revitalized. Passing landmark legislation to lower prescription drug prices, invest in clean energy, provide universal pre-K, all while Republicans oppose everything I'm talking about. Every policy, Republicans stand in the way, yelling, stop. What do they bring? Robert Reich wrote an article about it, saying the title of the article was about 8 months old, though, or 10 months. It says, Republicans love to make up fake crises. Here are the 5 biggest. Well, of course, wokeness we talked about. Trans people. Yeah, Traitor Trump said that one of his top priorities, if he is reelected, is, quote, a sweeping federal rollback of transgender rights. How dare these people talk about freedom? It's so sickening. Less than 1% of the population. That's what you're focused on. A sweeping federal rollback of transgender rights, they say. They sign a stream of laws against all of this shit. While when Democrats propose or pass and introduce actual bills, legislation that actually help people, they can't take it. Republicans, and when they pass, Republicans go to court. I can't. Well, we got more to talk about, guys. Guys, thank you for hanging out tonight. Yes, Trump does look constipated. He probably is. Or the opposite. I got a story on that too, but we'll do that during the week. Thank you, guys. Listen, guys, thank you for hanging out. My name is Tara Devlin. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for all your support. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, guys. We will win. We're on the right side of history. Decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. All right. Just in time for my voice to get raspy. All right, guys, listen. We're not going to do a after show at this point, but we will do a show during the week. I promise. I hope, we'll see what happens. I hope that maybe Steve Silverman will be back. We'll talk. He wanted to talk about OJ. I thought that would be a good thing to talk about. So we'll see. We'll see if he can get the night off and come and hang out with us. Listen, guys, thank you so much. Twisted Nerves Painting, nice to see you. And I have to respond to your message. I haven't forgotten until just now. So I will. I swear. I swears. All right, guys, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Twisted Nerves. You're amazing. And Errol, I love you all. Jonathan, I see you. Nice to see you. Better late than never, Jonathan. And everyone, Kathy and Ed and Jim, thank you all. Make sure to subscribe, all that stuff. Share it with your friends. We're here every Friday night, and it's good. And it's good. We hang out. I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to go. But remember, I will see you. Thank you, Poppy, too. Another shout out. Thank you, Poppy, for hanging out. And I will see you guys, hopefully, during the week.